Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Fast Frame. You see their website right there. When it comes to artwork and prints, Fast Frame is the place to go for professional work and lifetime guarantees. And if you have something big you need done, for example, there are 4 posters in that. That's 4 posters, 2 landscape and 2 like newspaper size in one 6-foot tall hanging. They can do anything. Anything you want, they can do it at Fast Frame. They are absolutely the best in town. Get your memorabilia down there, guys. Old newspapers, old magazines, you got autographs. They don't yellow behind that museum glass. It's really good stuff. Fast Frame. Okay. This week I thought it was funny, John Adams called Butch Jones the clown prince of the catchphrase in the News Sentinel. I thought that was good. Here's my question. You know the media is going to be ready for him because he's the one that's most likely to say something that they can make fun of. Which one do you think he hears more of this week? Which phrase? Hot seat or champions of life?
I think he will hear more hot seat because that's an easier question to ask than something about champions of life because that's making fun of him. I'm going to hear more champions of life because the other media, when you walk by, will say something about champions of life. So he'll hear hot seat. I think us in the media are going to hear champions of life.
I think the only way you could ask him about it is if you say something like, do you regret saying champions of life? But, okay, he thinks hot seat. Does everybody agree with that? Hot seat more than champions of life?
I do.
I'm going to go with it, yeah.
But
yeah, my answer is the same. I think the people asking him questions will ask more hot seat questions. When those people are asked questions, like on our radio shows, when they go down Radio Row, I think they will then turn it to the champions of life 5-star hearts.
Okay, I tell you what, we were going to
He's
talk
on a 5-star hot seat.
We were going to talk a little bit about a little more about Butch Jones here, but we're going to get back on schedule, so I'm going to jump to the next question. But I'm going to put the Butch Jones stuff in our overtime segment. So we'll talk a little bit more about Butch Jones and SEC Media Days in our overtime segment today on SportsSource.tv. But let me jump ahead. Tennessee's taking all seniors down to Hoover: Emmanuel Mosley, Kendall Vickers, Ja'Shawn Robertson. There's been some blowback over that. Why are you taking those 3? I've heard it from fans. I've heard it from some in the media, some former players. I got to be honest. I don't care. That's not the kind of thing that I would be fired up over. But I may be the only one here. Your thoughts? Is he taking the wrong 3 guys to Hoover? Is it a concern?
Not to me. Take who he wants.
I wouldn't take a guy that I think has a pretty good chance of not starting.
starting.
So I'm good with 2.
But
And
Mosley,
nothing against Mosley. I just, first off, he doesn't do that many interviews. I don't think he feels that comfortable doing them. So I wouldn't put him in that position. So I would have taken somebody else, Todd Kelly Sr. or somebody else other than Mosley.
One reason to take people is to kind of promote them, get them out there for awareness to vote for all SEC, all different things like that. If you want to take a senior, I'd take Evan Berry down there.
There you go.
Let
Yeah.
him get
Good
some.
one. Yeah.
I think he's a good talker and would be a good storyline.
Josh, is it a big deal to you?
It's not a big deal to me. I would have taken a different group. I agree with everything that's been said. But it is cool for them, and it's cool for Emmanuel Mosley to get to go. He would be the one that I think was easily most surprised, especially the fact that he might not start.
But he's a champion of life.
I've had some folks talk to me about, well, who knows what this will do behind the scenes. These better be your leaders. And I thought, you know what? If your locker room is so tenuous that it can be blown apart by who you took to Hoover, it's going to blow up over something else later. So I wouldn't worry about that tearing apart the team. If it does, it's going to tear apart on something else. You saw this just seconds ago in a subliminal ad. Look right there. Coming up this fall, we're going to make the announcement today. Coming up this fall, you can spend the whole weekend with us. Once again this year, we'll be doing a preview of the UT football game weekly. But this year, Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. So game day previews right on Fox 43, the Sports Source Kickoff Show. And then Sundays at 11 a.m. as always is our 15th season of reviews. It's game day after reviews, and that's right here on WATE 6. So this fall weekends you can spend with us. Saturdays, Fox 43 at 10:30. Sundays, right back here at 11 as usual. And I want to say thanks to both those stations. You don't have stations that play ball with a show like ours the way they do. And especially want to say thanks to home base here, WAT, for allowing that to happen. Good people. All right. When we come back, what are we talking about next? The recruiting trail. Tennessee keeps killing it on recruiting. How much of that, though, is due to strategies by other schools? We'll discuss. Come on back.